The northern lights washed Fjellgard in icy blue hues as young warrior Eirik Stormborn awoke from the same dream. Again, the same voice, the same darkness, the same burning crown hovering in endless void. Every night, the crown drifted a little closer. Every night, the flames dimmed. Every night, the darkness swallowed him whole. Eirik steadied his breath and stepped onto the cold wooden floor. Outside, a snowstorm twisted through the village like a living beast. Word spread fast that morning. The seer Eldra had returned. Her return was always a sign of fate beginning to move. Inside her tent, Eldra lifted her gaze. Her face was carved by time, but her eyes burned with something ancient. "Stormborn," she said, "your dreams are echoes of truth. The lost crown of the north is awakening, and destiny has chosen you." "I'm just a warrior," Eirik protested. "I'm no hero." Eldra dropped the rune stones. "Darkness rises. If you do not find a crown, night will swallow this world." Then, screams, the ground shaking, mist crawling in from the northern forest. Eldra pressed an amulet into his hand. "Take this. Tonight, fate will find you." And minutes later, shadows descended upon the village. Eirik faced something not human, and he realized this was only the beginning. Night fell heavy over Fjellgard, not peaceful, unnaturally silent, as if the world held its breath. Then the shadow creatures emerged. They resembled humanoid silhouettes, but faceless. Their limbs stretched unnaturally long, and faint blue light pulsed beneath their skin like dying embers. Eirik lifted his axe. He was terrified, yet unshaken. Two creatures glided toward him, silent, smooth, unnatural. Eirik swung with all his strength, splitting one apart, but its pieces dissolved to darkness and reformed. They couldn't die. Suddenly, the sky cracked open. A pillar of pale light struck Eirik. The amulet on his chest flared with burning heat. Eldra's voice echoed, "The awakening has begun. The Keeper rises." Instantly, the creatures froze. Then they retreated. No screams, no sound, melting back into the mist. Eldra approached him. "That was only the first wave. If you do not find the crown, none of us will survive what comes next." At dawn, with smoke still rising from Fjellgard, Eirik strapped on his armor. Silence weighed heavily over the village. Eldra approached with solemn steps. "The crown's trail leads into the northern forest," she said. "That place is the border where the living meet the dead. If you enter, no one can say whether you will return." Eirik inhaled deeply. "Even fate may not know whether I return." And he walked. The northern forest was unlike any other. The trees stretched not toward the sky, but toward the shadows. Branches whispered as if alive. The ground trembled faintly beneath his boots, and the mist coiled around him like a serpent. When he reached the forest's heart, all wind ceased. Then two glowing yellow eyes emerged from the fog. A massive wolf stepped forward, but not an ordinary one. Runes flickered in its eyes, and its fur shifted between darkness and dim light. The wolf spoke. "Stormborn, we have waited for you." Eirik gripped his axe. "A talking wolf? What are you?" "I am Fenrath, the Pathkeeper of the crowned Child of Shadows. If you seek the crown, you must first prove yourself." They clashed like lightning striking ice. Eirik's axe brushed the wolf's fur, releasing a burst of cold light. Then Fenrath stepped back. "Your fate is not to fight, but to stop the darkness. You will not walk this path alone." With that, the wolf vanished into the fog. Eirik stood still, realizing this quest did not belong to him alone. It belonged to the north. Fenrath's path led Eirik through silent frozen mountain passes. Even the wind dared not speak here. After hours of climbing, he found an ancient temple entombed in ice runes shimmered across the walls, and crystals hanging from the ceiling refracted light into ghostly patterns. At the entrance, a warning read, "He who seeks the crown must face his own darkness first." He stepped inside. Instantly, everything fell into darkness. Then, his own voice echoed, twisted. "You couldn't protect your people. Your village burned, and still you chase the crown. Are you truly a warrior or fate's puppet?" Eirik clenched his fists. "I know who I am." "Do you? You haven't accepted your fear." He was pulled into a memory. His childhood, the avalanche, his family disappearing beneath the snow. He fell to his knees. "It wasn't my fault." The temple trembled. Runes ignited. Eirik rose and shouted, "I will not run. I know my fear, but I am not its slave." The darkness shattered. A door of glowing runes opened. Inside, he found a crystal containing the first fragment of the crown. As the temple cracked around him, Eirik knew the hardest trials were yet to come. As Eirik left the ice temple, night fell unnaturally fast. The sky turned pitch black. Even the stars vanished. A shadow emerged near the trees. Then a voice. "Stormborn?" Eirik raised his axe. A tall figure armored in black stepped from the mist. His eyes glowed with empty darkness. "I am Scorn, Lord of Shadows," he said. "You have claimed the first fragment, but you will never complete the crown." "Did you send those creatures?" Eirik demanded. "They were merely a greeting. When I claim the crown, the North will kneel." The clash began, but every blow Eirik struck dissolved Scorn into smoke. Leaving nothing to hit, Scorn leaned close, voice cold as death. "I will not kill you yet. You will bring me the crown yourself." Darkness erupted outward. When it cleared, Scorn was gone. Eirik stood alone. The cold was deeper than ever. The second fragment awaited across the sea of lost souls. Eirik rowed a small boat into the mist-filled waters. The sea was eerily silent. No birds, no waves, no wind, only whispers. "Turn back. Join us. This path is your grave." Shapes moved beneath the water, then faces, pale, ghostly, watching him. Suddenly the boat stopped. A hand rose from the depths. Then a face, familiar. "You didn't save me." It was his childhood friend. Ghostly figures began walking on the surface of the water toward him. The amulet burst into light. The spirits recoiled. The mist split, revealing a dark, floating island. At its center stood a stone altar holding the second fragment of the crown. Eirik snatched it as the island crumbled. He rowed back as furious waves chased him, but he reached the shore, barely alive yet victorious. The final fragment lay in a place called the Heart of Mountains. Inside the massive cavern, Eirik found not darkness, but golden light. A woman stood in the center, long white hair, armor like sculpted ice, eyes shining like stars. "I am Ylva, final guardian of the crown," she said. "If your heart holds no consuming darkness, you may complete the path." With a gesture, she pulled Eirik's mind into another realm. There, he faced himself, his fears, his losses, his darkest rage. Ylva's voice echoed, "The crown's power drives the unworthy mad. Are you one who will fall to shadow?" Eirik opened his eyes. "I accept my darkness, but I do not serve it." Ylva smiled. She handed him the final fragment, Stormborn. Now the true journey begins. Eirik climbed to the mountain peak to unite the crown fragments. The sky glowed crimson. The wind whispered of death approaching. As the crown took shape, a familiar shadow appeared. Scorn, so you succeeded. Now give me the crown. Eirik lifted it. You will have it, but not to rule. The crown burst into radiant light. Scorn roared, sending waves of darkness. Eirik stood firm. Their final clash shook the mountain. When the crown's power fused with Eirik's strike, light engulfed the shadows. Scorn laughed. You cannot defeat me. Eirik whispered, I am not defeating you. Your own darkness is. The light ripped Scorn apart. Eirik knelt, holding the crown, but he did not place it on his head. This power belongs to no one. He shattered the crown back into 3 fragments and buried them deep in the mountain's heart. The northern winds shifted, the shadows vanished, and Eirik Stormborn descended, no longer a warrior of fate, but a warrior who mastered his own darkness.